has been the start of the build, really, because what I've managed to do is to print out in full size from Rail Modeler Pro, which is what I've been using on the Mac. The layout, you've seen this before, I think. No, maybe you haven't. This will probably give you a better idea of how things will eventually be. If we go over here, this is obviously full scale, and you can see the green line is the one that's going to be raised up. The purple line is actually running through a tunnel with the green hills above. But I've been able to just lay out the bits that I need, where I'm going to have to raise the track by about 1.5 inches to give me space for the point motors, but also to be able to model this bit through here, which is the river coming through to the dock area. And actually, interestingly, laying this down on the thing has made me redesign the dock area. It's actually now going to stop about here. There we go. This bit's going to come away, and I'm going to extend the lines along here. And I'm going to have this bit as an entry to a dock. So the dock will run round to here with a pier coming along here and possibly a little lighthouse on the end there. And that will make much more sense. I couldn't quite make my mind up with the bit around here why I did that, and now I don't know. So that's already just the mere fact of laying it out on the baseboards is helping to with the design, and the design is changing as I'm building, which is probably no great surprise. The other thing I've done is one of the things that Woodland Scenics, Whiterose sent me with these little discs, which, there we go, laser cut discs, which sit on top of the Pico motors. So you can drill a hole and whack that on top and it all sort of fits up nicely. But I've laid them, instead of the motors, I've laid them on the layout to see where the potential clashes may be. Because it's not until you actually can put it down that you can see where you're going to get point motors that are pretty close to each other. And by and large, it looks okay. That one there looks a bit close for comfort. So it's possible that this point I will move back a little bit. Just put a straight section in, move the point back so that the point motors aren't clashing, something like that. I don't think it will make too much difference. Probably push this up a little bit further maybe, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm sure we can do that. Maybe need to extend that to push that back a bit so that these two don't clash there. But there you go. You can actually start to get a sense of the size of the layout now, much better, I think. So now this video is done about 2 or 3 days after the last video I did, and I think I'm getting clearer in my mind how I'm going to raise up the sections. The section that's in dark grey here I think has got to be wood, or something like wood, probably Sundala actually, on a frame, because this is where the majority of the point motors are. Most of the points are here. There's a couple of points over on the far side there. Just see them, there you go. And that's the entry into, it's a crossover, but also an entry into the branch line. But apart from that, all the points are in this area. That needs to be on something fairly firm. The rest of the track needs to be raised in some other way, and this is part of what I laid this out for, to measure how much of that I really need. And I was thinking originally of the Woodland Scenics foam risers, but that's quite expensive. But we'll see. I'll be able to cost it out better, because when I costed it out for the whole of the layout, to put Woodland Scenics risers across the whole of the layout, except for this bit here, the Sundala bit, it was about 220 quid, which is quite a lot for polystyrene foam. But we'll see. I'll work it at some point. So that's this short snippet. This whole video is likely to be a series of short snippets over the space of 2 or 3 weeks, possibly with a top and a tail, but we'll wait and see. Okie dokie, speak to you again. Bye bye. Okay, well we're actually now about 2 or 3 weeks on from the previous snippet, and I thought probably best to finish the snippets off and put this up. The last 2 or 3 weeks have been acquiring things mainly. If I just pull back here, putting the printout on the baseboard has been incredibly helpful, as I described in the previous bit of the video, because I have actually made the changes that I said I would. The clash that I had here with these 2 points has been removed by a short section of straight, which has just pushed this engine shed back. In fact, I think I'll be able to line the 2 engine sheds up now, so it'll actually look much better. It's also shown me very firmly that what I'm trying to do here at the baseboard is too near the edge, because there's hardly any distance between this track and the edge, and this is starting to go up an incline. So I think it's likely that this point here is going to come out, and that this will run in run with less than near the edge of the baseboard. So I think Sharky's end is a goner, because I think I'm going to take the line rather more gradually out and have the line in a little bit further before it sweeps round and up the hill. The other thing is that I was trying to describe what I was going to do with the dock area, and I've now been able to print out those sections again, and you can see, compared to the previous one, that we have a proper entry to the dock area, the quayside, with somewhere where ships can tie up to, and as I said, there's possibly something on the end there, a light, or certainly a light to guide the entry to the dock, and that works much better overall. I've also now acquired the Woodland Scenics foam sheets. I'd done a calculation that suggested it was over £200 to cover the thing. I'd just got my sums wrong. And in any event, I don't need to cover the whole of the layout, because the middle bits I can use other things to raise it up. But I now, I think, have enough sheets to do all the, this is a bit dark, isn't it? To do all of the area that I need to do, which is essentially the track. I want the track sitting on those sheets. They'll be raised 1.5 inches, and then the incline goes up another 4 inches. So where those are there, those are actually the right height eventually of where everything will sit, and that's about 5.5 inches overall. So that should work really quite nicely. The industrial estate is pretty much, that's not necessarily where everything's going to end up, but that's going to be the industrial estate at that end, so that's quite good. Similarly, I've now been able to lay these out accurately on the baseboard where they're going to be, and that seems to work quite well for the terraced housing. I've had to move it towards me a little because I hadn't given quite enough room for the people to get around the back, as you can see. So that's going to go around the back there. So this weekend, we've got some guests first thing on Saturday. The building will really start. I've got the wood that I need to be able to build this dark grey area here is actually where it needs to be wood. And in fact, the wood goes back a little bit further than that, because that's what the point motors are all going to go on. I've got the necessary tools now to be able to cut the holes out so I can mount the pico motors straight onto the track using these things that I got from White Rose. So they sit between the motor and the track and will fill the hole, so it'll give me something to go over to make good the hole that will be in the board. But that should make life much easier mounting that all up. And that would essentially be on a frame sitting on top of the baseboard. So I will need to do some drilling through the baseboard, but really just for wires and things to go through. And then I need to cut a small section here. Just go back out again. A small section here is also, because this is a number of point motors, and another small section over there. So I think I've got all the wood I need to be able to make that up, so that's good. So, and the viaduct, which is refusing to stay together. I don't know how much glue I've stuck on that damn thing, but I think the super glue is coming out at the weekend, and then it will be bonded for all eternity together. But that looks quite good there. It's going to be up. I'm trying to think how high that is. That's nearly the right height because it's more than 4 inches high. So by the time I've raised everything else up. But it does mean that I can really do some scenic stuff on this side of the river, because I'll want to bring a road or something under the track, and I don't need to raise this bit up as high as I was going to. So we'll be able to have roads and things coming through under the viaduct and under the track, working quite nicely because the track will be 1.5 inches high. So that's pretty much as far as I've got. But I have everything that I need now to really start building, which is the thing I've been waiting to do for ages. The next video probably won't be for 3 or 4 weeks, because what I would like to do is that the next time I show you anything is with all the track laid down, not permanently necessarily, but certainly I want to lay all the track out before I start finally deciding where I'm going to wire everything in. I'm just waiting on my gauge master, which is on order from Harbans in Edinburgh, because I want to buy some things locally. It's very easy to buy everything on the internet, but it is quite important to support the model shops that we go into all the time. And I hope to go up ScotRail Guards strike willing to the Perth Model Show, which is due in Model Railway Show in a couple of weeks, just over a week actually, 25th, 26th, because that's the nearest one to me before Tings and then Worley, which I'll be going to also a bit later. So that's it for now. This is quite short really, but I hope to show more next time, where we've actually got some track down, which is the thing I'm really keen to start doing. So thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you again probably in about 3 or 4 weeks' time. Bye-bye.